Welcome back, everyone, to the ESL ESEA Pro League. I'm Lee D-Man-Smith. I'm joined once again by Lauren Pansy-Scott for TSM versus PENTA. Now, well, where do we start with this one? This is going to be a tricky one, no doubt about it, for PENTA. It's on Mirage, and that's kind of a good map for TSM, which doesn't bode so well for PENTA, who did just, I'd say they got 10 rounds against Virtus Pro, but I think they were gifted some of those.
Yeah, this should not be a close game. But it's more about, once again, TSM and keeping clean games. They haven't played that much within this league recently. They're going to have to catch up in a couple of games, I can imagine, soon. Or not as many as other teams. That's the thing. That's probably why you're not seeing the higher echelons just yet on the leaderboard. But they're a top team regardless, so they should be able to get themselves up there. And this should be a game they'll get a clean result on.
For TSM, they just need to get some wins, frankly, because they had that one bad day where they lost 3 games in one night on the Pro League. And that's what put them in trouble. Well, they're starting things off with the opening frag. Crystal will go down. Troubley, oh, he had a free shot on Dupree, and he didn't manage to make it. Cajun B come out in the end. Pushed up, covered him off. Tabs on the last man. Not able to be the hero this time around, I don't think. And that was a simple pistol round for TSM. A little too easy, in fact. That was a bit scary. Well,
at least rather than just committing the bomb towards B, then they actually try to rotate them off back towards A, so Dupree came hopping out. But yeah, this is going to be a real bloodbath. You know, considering TSM are on the verge of being, you know, top tier, a top tier team, should I say. This won't be pretty for PENTA, considering they're just trying to work through their issues more than anything, and they're getting some really tough opponents today. But maybe PENTA can get a couple of rounds here and there, make it harder work for TSM, and bring this, you know, league closer together all in all.
When they're playing in the top leagues, they're going to play against the best teams, and Troubley realises he's got a lot of people up there. He's going to try and push through. They're trying to catch them by surprise with the pistols, but TSM not falling for it. Simple MAC-10 close work there. Crystal's going to try and catch Carrigan out. Carrigan up in Delpan, but he himself gets himself a kill. Strux is going to get chased down. He gets dropped by Device. And, well, Cajun B the only man to fall so far for TSM as they close out a very simple second round.
And they're just not losing players either. PENTA have only managed 2 kills so far. It's hard to make an impact. You know, TSM are a confident team. You saw their first pistol straight up mid. A little bit of a split at the end, and then just took the bomb over towards A. Second round, just straight out on A, doing the damage, and then Carrigan in mid. Carrigan opting to stick with the SMG in round 3, and why not? PENTA have no armor and nothing to work with, but they're going at a stack, so this might maybe at least get PENTA a couple more kills. Yeah,
going to be 5-man in it. And TSM are running headlong into it. Maybe this could work out for them, but they got to get those opening shots, those opening frags. There it is. Tapson does manage to get Cajun B down. With little USP work, but sadly for them, they're dropping straight in there. Are they going to expect Strux? Oh, he had to make it count. He got the pre. So they got themselves 2 kills, but that's... You got to really hope for more when you stack out of sight with 5 men.
Yeah, well, at least they got 2 more kills. That's good. So, this is hard. This is hard.
This is casting hard level when you know it is such a one-sided match.
Because, okay, this is going to be defining how much of a dent can PENTA make on the buy round. They have to do it. They're on the preferential side, arguable, but still, we're going to go with it for now. Now they need to make an impact. They cannot let TSM just run all over them, which they've been doing so far. TSM haven't even done much. They've just gone for a standard play and then just landed the shots. They haven't played complex. They haven't played this, you know, superior mind game of wonder. It's just, hey guys, we're just going to walk into your sites and kill all of you. And they're pretty much doing the same thing here. But now, Stavros does some damage. This is much better. But then there's a reply and it's a 2-for-1. And they've broken through the site. They haven't even put the smokes down. They're just walking straight in. And sadly, PENTA just don't seem to have an answer to it just yet.
It's just pure confidence. It's a team that just knows they are superior right now, and that's how it should be.
And you know you're in trouble when you're picking up a dead man's M4 that has 4 bullets on the silenced version of it. So let's see if Tabson and Strux can get back into the side. Not checking where Zipnix is going to make it harder work. And now Strux 1v2. He's not going to really have much luck.
He's got 2 so far. That molly's going to keep him out. Not going to be able to get on site. He's going to keep hold of it, or he hopes he can, because Strux is going looking for him. He may well just find him. He's going to hold the angle in the corner. Is Zipnik's going to check? No, he's not. Strux will get him down. So round for TSM. Small victory for Strux.
Yeah, getting a lot of guns away from TSM as well. But as I was saying, TSM didn't even do a full execute then. They just kind of went, all right, let's go to the site. They came out. Yeah, okay, they got a little bit of trouble coming in from I think it was Stavros who picked up the first. But from that point on, they just look so confident. As I said, PENTA need to break that somehow. They're going to get a small purchase going with CZs, nothing crazy on the CT side, just to maybe give Strux a little bit of support, if anything. But nice flash comes across, and TSM straight out. Cajun B, Dupree, it's like deathmatch for these boys right now, and I wish it wasn't. I want to see more, but I don't think I will do.
Straight at ramp. They didn't even hang around. They just flashed out, ran straight out.
This might be the fastest game we've ever seen at this rate.
It's going to catch us back up on time. Maybe TSM just like warming up. This is a warm-up match. They are playing Fnatic next, so they have to make sure they have their heads straight when they get to that match. But a little bit of aim practice, a little bit of death match for them coming into it. Well, this is very different. Troubly with the Scar 20, Crystal with the AWP. This is all in for them. It has to be a round they can win.
So where are they putting that Scar? So
Scar's at the back.
So Scar is on A, Crystal with the AWP's on B. And we've got the 3-2 split looking like it's going to work towards A. Last time TSM did this, that's where they ended up. But maybe they're going to actually go for an execute this time. Maybe they're going to put those smokes in play. Maybe they're going to have to do a little bit more, because Stavros is in a great little spot. I love playing that in dark, just to make a little bit of a peek towards Tetris. But PENTA slowing down TSM. Making them work for this 1 minute left, though. Let's see how they take this. I want to see almost from TSM's perspective half the time, but tabseN is in a good spot here. Cajun B unaware of him quite in window. tabseN just up in ladder room now, waiting for his opportunity. But Dupree snuck through towards connector. This could be a problem. Strux isn't aware of it, and no one's really watching us. There's no one in jungle for PENTA. They can walk straight in. Troubly finds device, but look at Dupree. He's pretty much gone onto site scot-free.
He's behind them. He's got around behind them. Troubly gets caught out. He managed to get Zipnik's down, but as you say, Dupree just strolled in the back there through connector. Strux hasn't been yet to be spotted. Does manage to get Carrigan off. They know that he's in sandwich now. Cajun B going to come around, but Cajun B should see Crystal around the side. There he is. And now it is just Strux. And he knows the angle's covered off. That's why Cajun B's just holding it. Both of them covering this with a great little crossfire position. Tries to go for the little fake. And they know. Dupree's just going to step around. There we go. And that's going to be the 6th round on the board. Yeah, and the observer's points now at Crystal. It's not a good game for him yet, almost getting to James Bond.
But then again, he's never been quite in the right place at the right time when he's had a gun. You know, the AWP, he took it to B, he left the auto sniper on towards A. He's been struggling a little bit to have that earlier action, and the one thing I'd say is, though, PENTA had absolutely no mid control then. They almost did. In ladder room, they almost had that good control, but then they just kind of gave it up. So Crystal gets a spot of 1 there. So they should know at least one person's probably by there. But look how quick Carrigan is up towards connector. He's straight up.
He's already through.
He's gone. He's so confident. He knows they're not going to peek in. The Mac Daddy comes to play. He goes for the upgrade. He gets it. And the rest of TSM start folding in. Troubly, though, in a good position here. The bomb's still in spawn. Might be able to do something. I
think Carrigan thought he was playing gun game there, just collecting up the new gun every time he goes through. Troubly not going to quite get himself the frag on Zipnik's, but this is down to a 2-on-3. This is PENTA's first good chance. Now it's a 2-on-2. tabseN low on health, Strux low on health. Both covering off from connector. Cajun B, the man, smoked off at the moment, but the second that smoke clears, that AWP is going to be booming. Zipnik spotted, drops in towards sandwich, will get spotted out. Oh, he's right in the open. And that was a little cocky play from Cajun B. First round for PENTA, but it is 6-1.
Comebacks on, boys. Here we go. Hey, that was well played out by PENTA, to be fair. It was incredible, the fact that Carrigan got up connector completely unscathed, pushed jungle, took down window. But then they didn't really get much else out of it. I think the players at ramp probably just got a little bit challenged for once, which is good. It's good to see. And Crystal having a great spawn here. I wonder if he's going to try and just peek ramp, or is he going to take this with the AWP?
Well, he's on a 007 at the moment, so he's hoping he goes somewhere.
Straight towards...
There's no one there. Yeah. Carrigan, actually, Troubly pushing deep here. He's going to catch Carrigan out, and that's the bomb. There's the bomb been found. Now, if everyone can get in position to try and cover this one off, stop Zipnik's getting near it. Stavros already ready for the push up through connector. Zipnik's is trying to get around there.
It's almost not worth pushing up for that bomb, though. You're at such a disadvantage. There's so much higher ground the T's can get. But the problem is now that those two players in mid had completely free reign to add pressure towards Connector. Dupree and KGB coming through are finally being dealt with by Tabson and Strux. KGB still there. Doesn't expect Tabson. He comes into play. But now we're down to that 2v3. 55 seconds. Device and Zipnix. Crystal's in a good spot. He can always come around and support from the back. But Troubley has to hold on here. Tabson's had to go back towards B because they're buying so much time, and you can see this slow play come out from Device now. Yeah,
Crystal needs to make tracks. Now he knows they're there. Now he's running. Now he's sprinting up behind them, but Troubley just needs to delay. He's been taken down.
This has to be Crystal's round now.
Crystal's in a perfect spot to cause so many problems. They're not expecting him. They're not even looking his way. Tabson's going to distract them. Oh, well, he's going to go straight for the first shot. Tabson comes around. And they will pick up the round. So Penta get themselves a second on the board. All started off with that aggressive play, catching Carrigan with the bomb.
Yeah, and it's important to get the bomb down, don't get me wrong, because then you can put players on the right side. But when it's that far into almost the T's territory, you don't want to kind of over-push, because there were those two players in mid that can push around the back of you, so you lose complete control up towards A. So I'm kind of glad that Penta didn't over-commit just to try and cover off that bomb. But regardless now, let's see what TSM do. They're going to start looking a little bit worse for wear for money, as they've just lost 2 rounds back-to-back almost. So looking at this here, Device Dupree looking towards B, around the back, nothing too much committed. Smoke towards short, possibly from Carrigan coming out. And that could just entail they want to get some control over towards mid, be able to peek freely towards Connector and allow Dupree a little bit more control. But look at this, Device and Tabson centimeters apart.
Yeah, they were just actually in the smoke right next to each other as well. Oh, Dupree should not have come out on top of that one. Troubley losing out in a battle he thought he'd had. And that immediately triggers things off. Look at TSM, 3 members piling through Connector, but Stavros cuts them down, gets 2 down, and that's his job done. Oh, that grenade from Crystal, almost on point. Strux is the one that picked up the kill. Zipnik's low, the last man for TSM. This could be the 3rd round on the board for Penta, after what was a commanding start for TSM, going 6 rounds without reply, without anything really from Penta. Suddenly Penta woke up.
Crystal getting himself back into the game, but I think this is just TSM trying the same things over and over, not working out and not being too fussed about it. I know that sounds bad, but yeah, as the match is paused, we can kind of discuss what was happening at the start. TSM were so dominant. They weren't doing standard plays. They weren't just going for the set smokes. They were just playing almost off feel, off confidence, and it worked. There was very few times a player in towards jungle, towards the A site, to ever make any impact. So players coming through mid had free reign, and we saw that time and time again. Finally, though, we're starting to see Stavros be there, and then later into the game, if needed, Strux. And it's working out wonderfully for Penta. And even Strux and Stavros are the 2 players starting to look towards the top of the table. And that's a big difference coming out from the start to those last couple of rounds. And I'm pretty sure TSM could go back to a full execute, towards the site after this eco they're probably going to be on. Maybe a couple of deagles here and there. But all in all, it's going to be hard, I feel, for Penta still to find another level to go to. Yeah,
they haven't even tried a set smoke play or anything like that. They've not really gone for a B play either. So, as you mentioned, TSM just been kind of piling in towards A site, just expecting their straightforward skills to work. And they were in the first 6 rounds. So, TSM, I didn't see actually who called the pause. Can't see who it is. So, it may have been Penta. Penta was like, you know what, guys? We could pick up a couple more rounds here. But 6 rounds is already not a bad start for TSM. You've got to expect them to get at least another 2.
Ooh, bless me.
Penta, though. Crystal, with the AWP in hand, did manage to get his 2 kills. That was the important thing. He was 0-0-7, got himself on the board. So, TSM had a little talk, a little debate, decided to go with a couple of deagles, a Tech 9, and they're all piling up the mid.
It's almost like the first pistol round. This time, though, there's a team with guns against them. It should be a lot harder to do. Unless you Dupree, and then maybe it's not. Crystal goes down to the Juan Deeg. And, well, this is starting to look a little bit awkward. Hopefully they don't die, and hopefully Strux cut. Oh, God.
Dear. The AWP must have dropped through the window.
Oh, that's absolutely gutting. That's really unfortunate. And, he spotted Troubley then. Troubley smartly just about crouching below that shot. But TSM, even being able to just take away the AWP is a big impact towards Penta here.
Yeah, and then TSM have immediately backed off. It's like, all right, we got an ult. Let's just slow things down. Looks like they're going to go for the rotate, and it's actually causing Penta to second-guess themselves. tabseN's been left alone over on B site. Troubly on the rotate to A, and we can see TSM, of course, making their way through the spawn. Stavros actually in position, may catch them by surprise with that smoke going down to fool them into looking to the other corner.
Well, hopefully Xipnix gets his gun out. Now he does, crouching into position, but he at least spots where it is, and he can buy time for tabseN to come across. Nicely done from Stavros there. A bit of a pop flash in, gonna catch out Xipnix, at least on the corner, but will he expect the second? He doesn't matter! cajunB goes down without a scathing mark towards Stavros. And now Xipnix needs to be the one to deliver. And he will, but now 1v2. He's up against it, but he's still going at it. Xipnix, unbelievable, but will he work out where tabseN is? tabseN has been over by B and on short, so it wouldn't be a stretch for Xipnix to look straight towards this. You can see the shots over by the stairs. Oh, and Xipnix beautifully played. The game sense came into practice. 4 kills that round, and that's just individual skill and knowledge you don't get every day.
Steals away the AWP and just beats them with it. And more importantly, those 2 shots when he just pushed through onto A side, which is P250s. It's a long range, don't need the AWP. Pop him off, long range, no problem. 7-3 TSM. Clearly the pause worked out well. I'm not quite sure that's what they were discussing in the pause, but little individual skill coming out from Xipnix does put them straight back into it. Xipnix, the man that's going to single-handedly try and check on ramp. Meanwhile, we've got a boost here. Karrigan didn't see who he was boosting up. Xipnix will get himself the kill on Troubly. It was Device, actually, that was boosted over the smoke with the AWP.
Look at this control from TSM. I look at the map. You can see on the mini-map, they're taking over so much of the map for free, and Penta just can't seem to find the angles to get guns away or find a 1v1. It's always a 1v3 or 1v2. And TSM just power through that round. dupreeh picking up 4, but there was no really armor on Penta. There's not much to be said about it, but this round is going to be important now. You want to start looking towards maybe 4 or 5 rounds for Penta on the CT side, something they can actually work with going into their T side, but it's still not going to be much.
No, TSM. Well, they're formerly renowned for having a very, very good CT side, and that's, like you say, that's just the scary part. 16-3 the score was last time they faced each other on Inferno. Well, Penta have got those 3 rounds.
Oh, that's a nice
kind of improving.
Is that a ledge or a boost?
No, I think he's on Karrigan. He's on Karrigan, yeah. He's boosted on Karrigan. This is what he did last round. This time, it doesn't look like Crystal wants to have any of it.
That's really nice, actually. So, smoking short themselves to give them that little bit of a peek, and then utilising the boost to look over. That's really nice. Doesn't give them anything, but it's nice. And now let's see what they can do. Jesus, Crystal, a centimetre away from death then. You can see the hole in the wall. And this will allow dupreeh to sneak up towards connector again. Stavros unaware, no one in jungle. This is something I said earlier that was a real issue that started to haunt them a bit, and cajunB will take down Crystal in window, and that's going to leave it even more open. Oh, TSM, actually though, looking at the B bomb site here, Karrigan and Device heading over, and there is still tabseN. We know that guy can do wonders sometimes.
Molly's just going to be to the left of him. He should be okay. Gives him the information. The rotate's coming out, but dupreeh is ready and waiting for it. Tries to catch Stavros off. Does get him down. And that was tabseN also taken out on site. So now bomb plant coming in. Karrigan is going to get the plant down. dupreeh, well, he's doing work, isn't he, over here? Strux will come around the back of him, but that may well be all he gets as they chase him down on short. 4 members of TSM all coming his way. Are they going to leap up? Oh, a little bit of too aggressive from Karrigan, but Device will finish the job. And 9-3 the score for TSM.
And the money for the CTs is dire. We've got a 5-7, a P250. What else can they spend for under $300 in game? Oh, and that's it. Oh, no, we did get the P250s. All right, so we got some P250s here. Maybe they can actually make an impact. No. So far, they've been struggling really to get even a gun out. Just because of the way TSM seem to play. And look at this. Device just straight up confident. Just going through the smoke, peeks it at the top, sees if anyone's like holding the angle, and then goes straight in. dupreeh, confident. Karrigan, confident. And you can see why. Just the perfect readjustment. And once again, Penta struggling to get those guns away or even just make a presence on these eco rounds. They're just not in the right place, in the right time. They're getting bullied here.
Stavros tried the aggressive push on A ramp as well, and Xipnix just sat back waiting for him. It's like, you've done this a few too many times, I'm afraid. We know you're on the pistols. 10-3 the score, match pause. I think pretty sure it's called out by Penta this time around. Solid start for TSM. 6-0 was the start. And now, of course, they are starting to clock themselves another 4. Just that little patch of 3 rounds for PENTA. It took TSM just to adjust themselves and get straight back in there. Looking at the scoreboard, well, is Dupree leading the frags for 19, Zipnik's at 14. 14 for Strux as well. Strux has been a little glimmer of hope for PENTA. But I don't think we can read too much into the kills because TSM have just been piling through. It's a case of who can find the first enemy.
Yeah, and looking even at PENTA's previous results, they've not had the best of runs, really. They've had quite some tough opponents. Dignitas for one, Fnatic, Virtus Pro. You throw in G-Play, who they lost to as well on Mirage. Really, for PENTA, they've never had that time to settle into this roster and get everything working the way they wanted. As we said before at the start of the season, they had to kind of pull themselves together from what was left of what Mousesports pillaged. And they've done nicely. That's a good, well-rounded lineup. It's not a bad lineup at all. Crystal is very talented. But, and so are the others, bearing in mind. But it's a long way off from being able to challenge the likes of TSM and the bigger boys in this league. That's the thing when, as you said, you get the big leagues, you get the big teams. There's probably going to be a team that's kind of in an awkward predicament because they're on the cusp of being good, but just not quite there yet.
Yeah, but they had the misfortune of it all happening on the first day of the season.
Yeah.
So they didn't even have just a week or two or just a little while to buy themselves some time, get a little practice, warm up a little bit, and then gently bring themselves back into it. They were thrust straight into the big matches. They did get their first win, though, remember, in that first match over Mousesports, ironically. But if you to look at the two differences, Mousesports have gone on week after week, improved. Oh, God, you're burning, man. Move, Crystal. Oof, down to 15 health.
Crystal's having a really bad time, bless him.
I mean, he's gone complete glass cannon, and now he's just got nothing. Nothing left with that AWP. That was an on-point molly for TSM there. 10-3 in score as they go peeking. Strux is trying to actually get a glimmer around there. Device is actually pushing. Strux is going to catch him out, so caught him unawares there. Crystal also, meanwhile, managed to land the shot in Carrigan, so they've got themselves 2 kills here. They've got themselves the man advantage. And it's maybe Stavros that may catch them off guard coming from behind here.
He's got to do something big because the bomb is going down. He's going to choose Tetris first, go for plant, and then follows up
beautiful.
towards CT. That is perfect from Stavros. He had to do it, and he did. That made everything change for PENTA. As we were saying, the individuals are fine. It's everything else. When TSM goes towards their team elements, when they fall back on the strategies and the deeper plays, sadly PENTA aren't quite there yet. But look at this from Stavros. He just played it textbook. Slightly slow. You can see the adjustment just here. Perfect towards Dupree. And I'm really glad to see him actually being able to, achieve those sort of, situations into their favour. But probably feeling confident. Going to go straight up mid. This is a leaf out of a couple of other teams' books, but actually catching KGB very low. And that nade could do well if it's not too deep. It's not. Troubly takes down KGB. That is the AWP out of play and not retrievable for some time. Carrigan might have to try and go back for it, but TSM pushing out into no man's land.
This has got to be 10-5, surely, the way PENTA are playing. Carrigan, the last man, will manage to spray down Strux. That smoke will slow things down, but he immediately gets flashed. Look at that. They're trying to cover him off. They knew where he was. And Crystal does get himself a confident round on the board. Nice, nice.
Ooh.
We're over here, guys.
Wow, we're showing you the whole studio today. It's like MTV Cribs. Just look around.
MTV Cribs. Is that even still going? Oh yeah, beautiful, beautiful. I like it. I like it.
That's
MTV
PC2.
Cribs, right?
No, that's PC2 with that little song in the background. The Windows package song. It's did you know? Our producer hates us right now.
He absolutely hates us. Basically, everything went wrong that could go wrong. Pistol round about to get underway. We'll get back into the game in just a moment, guys. Don't worry, you're not missing anything. But overall, 10-5, TSM solid T side, no doubt about it.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
It's a T side. PENTA did okay. 5 rounds isn't the worst in the world for their team of their sorts, but they're going to have to pull something together here. They have to turn up. PENTA needs to just kind of push themselves out a little step further. But we are back into it. You didn't miss a single thing, so do not fear, do not complain. Well, let's just see what PENTA can do. This is the difference here. Because overall, that's not an awful half for PENTA. It's not the end of the world. They got enough rounds as a buffer. But can they now push TSM on their CT side? Something that TSM have been generally quite good at.
Oh, Carrigan. Third time of asking, just it's that one-tap headshot will get taken down. Crystal, Device replying. Device going with his dualies. KGB's going to push around. I'm pretty sure he got a glimpse of Strux just outside of the smoke. Are they surely going to cross each other? They have. He's just to the left of him. Hasn't even looked. I mean, why would you? And Strux is just like, this is a bit weird. Catches him out. Zipnik's making his way back, though. Strux is going to get the plant down. Device on the rotate will get caught out by Stavros, and now Zipnik's all on his own, coming from apartments.
But I don't know if they're going to expect Zipnik's here. I'm not sure. They might do. I don't know how much information he gave away early on, but he's checking out. He could be caught here as soon as he drops. We'll wait and see. One in kitchen, spots him, and now it's down to Strux on the side. Stavros then came into play, and the important factor there when Strux pushed through is he held it long enough to see if he could get any other information, speak to his teammates, say, okay, if I take this guy down instantly, expect the rotate from A, wait in towards the window room, and then we'll just have to deal with last man standing, which was Zipnik's, which they did. So all in all, smart play from Penta. That was really good.
30 kills between Strux and Stavros. They are doing very well, enjoying themselves on this map. They just need to rustle up the rest of their team. But we've seen double scouts coming out from TSM, Carrigan and Cajun B. Carrigan's taking his over towards B apartments. Cajun B, he's holding window. Debris up close and personal will get taken down by Troubly with the MP9.
And TSM has smoked out this site quite completely. You can see how much Penta are putting into these rounds. They're heavily invested, even though it's round 2. And Device tries to sneak in. Strux says no. And TSM shouldn't be able to do any damage here if they play it out correctly for Penta. And, well, I think TSM realized that.
Yeah, Cajun B is going to smoke himself away, keep hold of those double scouts. It's a tricky angle. Strux is not going to quite get a glimmer on the back of the head there of Cajun B as they back away, and they're actually going to double jump themselves up and away. Strux is not going to quite catch them. Carrigan will spin around, but now they know where they are. And if you were to look at the mini-map, absolutely everybody from Penta is closing in on their direction.
Tabson gets one. Cajun gets the exchange. And I think Cajun should be able to get out of this unless he gets spammed on the wall. He's fine. So that was quite lucky almost for Cajun B to get out of there in that situation. But looking at the economy as well, you can see why they wanted to keep that in play. They don't have much else to work with. And even Dupree buying a P250's put him on 1.6, which is quite low. Device doing the same thing. So not sure what they want to achieve with this one. Looking on the other side, though, still sticking with 2 of the SMG-style weapons being picked up. The MAC-10 in there, still with Crystal.
I wonder if
Penta could work out.
I wonder if Penta are just going to maybe like go how TSM did at the start and just try speed, see if they can try their shock and awe maybe.
Well, I don't think they can into some of these rounds because I don't know how aware they're going to be of TSM's economy the whole way through. The one thing I'll say about God B when he was playing, he just seemed perfectly aware of how the oppositions were. You know, every single time Envy had a gun round, an eco, a bit of a force buy, so in tune with it. I'm not sure if Penta quite have that yet. So far, this slow play seems indicative of them just wanting to find out what they've got, where Cajun B is, where have they put him, do they have anything with it, did they buy up, a little bit here and there. What are they working with? So a lot slower from Penta.
Carrigan going looking for Tabson. He finds him. His legs got spotted by Stavros when he made the drop as well out of window. Troubly this time is going to peek. I'm not too... Oh, he's short. Just caught the nub of the pistol peeking out, so he knows that Device is around the corner. Well, he knows that somebody is around the corner. Instead, he's going to be wise and flash himself around the corner. They know he's in the corner, and now he's got support pushing through on towards side here. Dupree over at stairs, going to get caught off. Troubly will manage to catch him. Device has gone all the way through apartments.
Hears him.
Yeah, catches him out, and this is all going Penta's way. A clean round for them. Very well played. Penta 10-8. It's not over yet.
No, it's certainly not. But this is the gun round. This is the important one now. Let's see what TSM can do on their buy-up here. Penta against a fully bought-up team. Not the best buy in the world, but close enough to a degree. A fair amount of utility. They've got enough smokes, a couple of flashes. Nothing crazy. It's not the full flush kind of perfect purchase, but TSM can work with this. Look at Device just trying to use the smoke towards A-ramp. But now Zipnik's is probably going to be the one under a fair bit of pressure here. He's got 2 players, smokes it out. Nades come in, doesn't actually land on him. That's quite important there. Carrigan and Device already falling back into sort of supporting positions. But that bomb's at the top of mid, and that spray was just somehow so perfectly on Strux.
Yeah, just jacks him straight down to 24 health. Carrigan covering off short. Stavros is the man that's making his way underneath, though. There's no one actually covering off from window. Carrigan's looking across the short, but not one person is looking at underpass. The mid is completely in control of Penta right now.
Yeah, and I think TSM just lost a player, which isn't good.
Yeah, somebody's dropped.
Okay, I'm not going mad. That's good. I'm glad that I'm not going mad. But as you said, Penta's taking control of mid, starting to work their way up towards A. Dupree and Device still there, Carrigan not far off. They should be able to still kind of cover this.
4 of them stacked in connector right now.
It's dangerous if someone gets an idea of this, and Dupree's going to spot them. Waits it out, calls to Carrigan. Carrigan comes in, and it's dangerous doing these all-in plays like this when you haven't even checked the site. And now last man gets cleaned up, and they just didn't seem to have a plan beyond that.
Well, 4 members or not, they cleaned that one up. That was so easy. The 4 members all stacking in the same place, and that, just the one man in dark covers it all off. There's the pause. TSM getting themselves, I think it was their first CT round. Yes, it was. On the board, 11-8. 10-5 first half for TSM on the T side. It's already a pretty good start for Penta, but now we're going to start seeing, as you said, that was the first rifle round. That was the one that counted, and it's TSM that won it in a 4-on-5.
Yeah, and considering their player dropped out, that's fairly indicative, isn't it? You know what I mean? If they can still close out rounds like that, kind of worrying. But, you know, Penta now have to kind of do what was done to them. Just, you know, turn up, be able to close out those T rounds, play off those executes. I'd like to see them do like a full A. They seem to get fairly close towards A. I didn't like that connector play when they put 4 players there with no seemingly way to really push beyond it. It just felt like, okay, well, we didn't expect to get this much control of mid, and now we're kind of stuck here. But anyway, Cajun-B's back with us, so the game should begin very soon. And the economy for Penta isn't completely broken. They can still get a shoddy buy if they want it, and we'll have to see what they go for.
Yeah, they won enough rounds that they can buy straight up on this one. They should be fine. Cajun-B is going to get bought a scout, it looks like. So we'll see where he takes that one. Carrigan, though, with the AWP. He's going to be the man that looks like to be going towards the window. Cajun-B, I'm pretty sure Cajun-B is going to go over towards B-Van. We'll see. Game back underway. Crystal's got himself an AWP, so they have gone for the full buy. His glass cannon, actually. I was about to say full armor. Crystal's gone full glass cannon. He's going to challenge the window. Carrigan's going to be looking. That grenade could do a lot of damage. Remember, no health. There it is. 41 health left on Crystal. The grenade straight on top of him. But it doesn't matter when you got a big AWP in your hand.
Yeah, Dupree pushing out as well at A ramp is going to mean that they've kind of got control here. They know that everyone else is either mid or B. Hence why Cajun-B and Zipnix are already on that B side together. They've got Device focus on towards mid. Stavros does take down Cajun, but they know Zipnix has been playing B, so there's still at least someone else there that's present. And well, let's see how they play this one out. I'd like to see Penta almost go for a switch up again, but it looks like they want to take themselves towards this B site, and hopefully for Zipnix's sake, he can hold on to this. Yeah,
Dupree and Tamsin just having a little duel all the way down connector, but they both backed off from that one. Device actually holding the window there, expecting Dupree. Both of them expecting something to push up there. They're not covering this one off too well. Device is the only man staring at that window. Zipnix is only on short, though, so he can easily come back in. Penta, well, they're having second thoughts. 30 seconds to go, and they're going for a full rotate all the way over to our site.
What's giving it away as well? Because Device is rotated. I don't know how the hell they know. I don't know.
Zipnix maybe hear them at short? That's the only thing I can think of.
But I don't know. And Device is so sure the bomb's coming this way. So sure of it. He's certain. He's come around. Dupree's still here, waiting and pouncing and delivering. That's all he needed to do. He waited till the last 6 seconds of that round to come into play, and Stavros can't even get to the bomb in time. And Penta almost should have just stuck with that B execute. Yeah,
that was... I mean, they obviously saw something. I'd love to see what gave it away, what maybe just a single footstep heard, but it was enough to just immediately commit all their resources. And then we need to do it, Dupree, in dark. It's one of those things we highlighted, obviously, in the pre-show, how Mouse were checking the angles on everything on Mirage, but Penta, they didn't have the time to check all the angles. They didn't have the time to check every position. They had to get in and get the plant down, and it's what's cost them. Just the single AK for Stavros, saved it in the last round. Oh, that grenade's not going to do a great deal of trouble. It already so low. Dupree Not going to realise how close he was to catching 3 heads there.
It's always if only they could see what we see sometimes, because they are literally like on the player. Well, Device knows he's on that one. Dupree folds in, and that's a nice clean-up for TSM. But once again, I don't think these two teams, well, should I say PENTA on their pistols, can really get that close to TSM. Even on the other side, they didn't really make all that impact on it.
Yeah.
But on their gun rounds, they're getting fairly close, but sometimes they just seem to like triple guess themselves and kind of overcomplicate the situation and get caught out. But we're seeing a fully bought up PENTA. No AWP though, so Krista's going to have to go for that AK. But Karrigan actually running the AWP this time. I'm not sure if he just had a better spawn or he just wants to take it towards mid. And actually, there's 3 players there. That nade catching Strux well, and Karrigan now under pressure.
Look how much they read it. Device and Dupree both came straight down connector. They knew what was coming this time around. They immediately got themselves in position, collected themselves up some kills. And PENTA, well, their little mid play has been stopped dead. Troubly, though, is just creeping his way up. Nobody on A side just yet. Now they're looking towards him from jungle. This Device has got his eye on him. And that's all that we needed. Dupree, he's up close and personal with Crystal. Crystal trying to peek his way around. Oh, and that's Stavros gone down and B.
And look at the difference here. When TSM were doing the take mid, go A, or go up short, there was maybe 1 player in window and 1 player at stairs. For PENTA, when it's TSM on the other foot, you see 2 players in connector, 1 in window, or even 1 in jungle, 1 in connector, 1 in window. They're so quick on locking down those small kind of gaps. And I wish we'd seen more of that from PENTA, just putting players into these positions and giving them the chance for it. But now PENTA having to force into what they can, really. They've got mollies with the Tech 9s. They've got a big buy here, so they might try and do a full execute with it, but without the rifles.
Yeah, just try and rush headlong in. They're going to flash themselves
the
through.
Molly, the molly.
Device and Dupree, the molly just burning them down, and Device in dark dropping all he can. Dupree makes it 30 kills in the game so far. That's going to be 31. That's 32. Oh, Occasion B, you stole it. 31 in the end. Massive stuff from TSM. 15-8, it's what we expected, no doubt about it. PENTA struggling to collect the rounds here on the T side.
And well, that's almost match point. PENTA having to force into this one with whatever they can afford. This is their put everything into the pot and let's try and pull it together. What I want to see from them is almost those kind of smart executions or smart plays, but just keep, have confidence in themselves in a way. They seem to just slow it down, get caught up in whatever TSM throw in as like initial spanner in the works, and then PENTA kind of crumble into this little bit of a mess. And so they've done. So Troubly's waiting by A. Crystal tried to peek out against Device late, which wasn't going to work very well. Tabson's now kind of stuck in the same predicament. He's done better though, but then Device also kills him. And now you can see just PENTA just seemingly almost broken here, just piece by piece, falling into the hands of TSM. And sadly, even though there's some great individual moments from PENTA, they just weren't strong enough to convert into fully fledged hard rounds.
They've never really been, like you say, it's all about the individual skill. They're often not going in, like we can see Troubly making a great play there, but Strux is on the other side of the map. So while he's managed to work his way and get a kill, there's no revenge, there's no follow-up.
Oh, did Cajun see him then, or is he just checking?
He did this time. That's going to be game point. And TSM will take it in an expected format there. So, 16-8, the final score. Dominant stuff from TSM. Now the real challenge begins. I think we can move on. No reason to overanalyze that one other than say PENTA still got some work to do.
They're just not on the same level as TSM. It's very clear there, tier 2, 3 team TSM are pushing the higher echelons of tier 1. You're not going to get a close game. Mousesports, on the other hand, have potential to rise quickly and push teams who are maybe slightly off form. I wouldn't say TSM are off form. They may have games that they drop occasionally, but they are certainly still very much on form. Very
much one of the #1 teams. Well, they're about to challenge the #1 team. I think it's safe to say Fnatic's still the #1 team.
Yeah.
They just won and won Gfinity, so that is going to be our next match, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a cracker, and you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be Fnatic versus TSM after the break.